Hey y'all, welcome back to Proficiency in Play. This is Pip, your Dungeon Master. And today I'm here with Savannah, who plays Mercy. She's the voice behind Mercy, that voice that you're used to hearing every Wednesday now.
Hi guys, it's everyone's favorite dragonborn.
All right, and we're just going to get a little sneak peek into the mind of the creator of Mercy. I gave my players perfect freedom pretty much to create their characters. I didn't speak into it too much. So I want to just pick their brains a little bit about why they chose what they chose, who Mercy is towards the beginning, so that we can really see what Mercy turns into and how she shines by the end of the game. Because this game is all about them changing the world and the world changing them. So, Savannah, who is Mercy?
Well, physically, Mercy is a 6'10" dragonborn who is a fighter.
At the head or at the horns?
At the horns.
The horns.
At the horns, she is 6'10". I wanted her to be this big, imposing character that when you walked in the room, she just took full attention. Um,
So, quick disclaimer, y'all. I may have forgotten how dramatically huge Mercy was in some of the early episodes. So, not everyone who looks Mercy in the face is monstrously big. Just forgive me on that one. I remember her being big. I was thinking more 6'2", 6'3". 6'10" is absolutely gigantic.
6'10" is big.
So, give
So
me some grace on not everything is quite as big,
I
though I stand by the fact that the blacksmith that you haven't met yet is looking Mercy in the face.
I do try to bring it up every time you say looking Mercy in the eye. I say, how tall are they exactly? But she's huge. She takes up, eye contact when she walks in the room. She's got brassy scales. They just kind of shine, but you can see some that have kind of been worn away over the years of labor. She is the oldest of the four girls, which has kind of shaped her into being this always needs to take care of everybody thing. Um, I'm trying to think of what else Mercy is, and I love her so much. But she really takes all of her mentality as if I am not useful, am I if I'm not doing something, what value is there in me?
Right. A lot of value and usefulness, which is a tough thing. And the game will explore that a lot and really pick on Mercy that way to see how she chooses to adapt. So, why Mercy? You said you're this mothering character, you're big and imposing. What made you want to play that imposing character?
So I have a little brother. He is 7 years younger than me. So I was 7, almost 8 when he was born, and I kind of took on that role with him. Um,
Poor guy.
I say that, but now he calls my phone all the time. Even he's 21 and he called me the other day to ask me how to write a check. So
That's sweet.
he has taken on the mothering tone from me and has ran with it, especially now that he's older. And I wanted Mercy to show that, but then I wanted to show kind of Mercy coming into her own self.
Mm.
I went through a lot right after high school, which I think most people do. They're trying to figure out and learn who they are. But now I am learning how to be myself and to love myself for who I am. And I wanted Mercy to show that because I think she hides a lot, especially right now in the beginning. She's hiding a lot of who she really is to make other people shine.
So we get to see Mercy take that journey, kind of similar to the journey you took and have finished now. You want to re-share that story in a different kind of way.
Yes.
Awesome.
Just showing that you don't have to dull yourself in a group of people. People are either going to love you for the light that you put out or they're not going to want to be around you.
That's okay.
And that's okay. If they choose to stay, they choose to stay.
Perfect. So talk to me a little bit about you chose Brass Dragonborn. Now,
Yes.
spoilers for you guys listening. Savannah has a type, and Dragonborn is the type. That being said, talk to us a little bit about why Brass Dragonborn into Mercy.
So I have played lots of Dragonborns. I've played blue, I've played green, and I really wanted to go brass because brass is fire.
Hmm.
And when I think of this transition that Mercy is making, it's going to be very destructive in certain instances. She has to destroy who she was to become who she is.
Interesting.
And I see that in fire. I see fire as being this thing that comes out. Think of when they clear land. They
Hmm.
go in and they burn everything. And what sprouts up is bright and green and luscious on the other side. And I want that to be Mercy.
Fire is this awesome thing that both destroys and creates, that both damages and refines. And that's a really
It
interesting
is.
duality that fire has. And while it is super aggressive and terrifying, it's also quite beautiful and life-giving.
Mhm.
And that's really, really cool.
Yeah, and that's my plan for her. So,
All right. Now, I know you went the fighter
hmm
class. Talk to us a little bit about that.
so the very first D&D game I ever played was a paladin, and I have a special place in my heart for paladins.
Mm.
I love them. I think they're super strong, and I love the storylines that you can come up with a paladin. And then my most previous game, I played a druid, which is the direct opposite
Hmm.
of a paladin. I really wanted to play all of the characters that I can because I don't want to get stuck, even though I'm stuck in dragonborns. I don't want to get stuck in a type of player.
Right.
So when I played my druid, I loved my druid, but I realized that I am not a spellcaster.
Yeah.
I like being up in the mix, and I like really just swinging swords and taking damage. And as a druid, you cannot
Not
take
really your thing.
can't take a lot of damage. So I thought about who I wanted to be, and I said, okay, I played a druid. I'm going to go complete opposite of that again and play a non-spell casting
Hmm.
because I was throwing it up in the air. Do I want to be a champion or do I want to do? I think it's
Eldritch Knight.
Eldridge Knight, because that was my second guess.
Mhm.
But I thought I'm going to take it back to the basics and just be straight champion fighter.
And in the narrative, um, they are slaves that have been in the arena, in the Colosseum, seen these gladiators make their mark and gain fame. And in the storyline, Mercy's kind of really attracted to that kind of lifestyle. So being a fighter makes a lot of sense for a gladiator. You ended up going with the aspect of the weird based on the cosmos, which some people are like, you didn't pick aspect of power, right?
Yeah.
Um, which is maybe a little bit of a strange choice. Tell me why you picked that.
So personally, Savannah, apart from Mercy, loves the weird.
Mm,
Um, the weirder, the better. And I really thought about it, and I wanted to play this big character that has this problem with authority and wants justice for what has happened to her and happened to her friends. And she just thinks, okay, if the gods have made these things and made these creatures, then what made the gods?
hmm
Um, you know, the gods may have made Eos, but there's a whole world outside of Eos that we came from.
hmm
And it's strange to think, okay, these gods run, you know, all of the or not run, they created all the characters here, but what made the characters that aren't in Eos?
Right, because Eos has its own pantheon, but canonically speaking, you player characters were taken as slaves from the Forgotten Realms. And while I am messing with the rules of Eos in its own little pocket, Mercy's old enough to have heard stories about the gods from where she is, and they're not the same gods. So certainly the gods that exist in Eos can't be the original
All powerful, created
creators because
everything.
you didn't hear about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there must be the cosmos is kind of like this vast, unknown primordial energy that
hmm
whatever it created must be from there.
Yeah.
All right, what else do you got? Anything else you want to share about Mercy?
I am super excited because I think there's a lot in the future for Mercy. She has really strived for purpose her entire life, and I think now she's really looking for the glory and the recognition that goes with that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot to come for her. So
Yeah, me too. Me too. Well, awesome. This has been Savannah, the voice behind Mercy. And as always, we'll see you next time.